Hello everyone, Felicia Wilson here with Care Talk. Today we're going to talk about hospice. Hospice is often one of those topics that is very much shied away from due to just the discomfort that the discussion brings on. Let's face it, if you're talking about hospice, you're talking about someone transitioning, someone having a terminal illness, and that is not something that typically individuals want to engage in a conversation about. But I think it's important to talk about those hard topics because in talking about them, you're actually able to have a little bit more control over the process. So let's talk about what hospice actually is and define it or frame it a little bit, and then we'll talk about some benefits. Hospice is referred to as compassionate comfort care. Basically, what this means is we're providing care, but not curative care. For example, if an individual has cancer and they have two physicians who state that their prognosis or life expectancy is 6 months or less, then that person could be eligible for hospice. But they would not receive treatment to cure the cancer. However, let's say someone has a terminal cancer diagnosis and they get a UTI. The UTI would be treated because, that can be extremely uncomfortable, but the cancer diagnosis would not receive the curative treatment. The idea behind hospice care is that the individual with the diagnosis and their family receive support throughout the entire process. That support is physically, pain management, making sure that they're getting what they need and when they need it. Spiritually, there is a chaplain on staff who will help the individual and their family process anything related to their spiritual beliefs. Also, the family continues to receive support throughout the hospice process, as well as support after their loved one transitions during that bereavement and grief period. That can be very, very helpful for someone who, in just figuring out how to live their life after their loved one has transitioned. Hospice care is paid for by Medicare, Medicaid, and if you opted to choose a Medicare Advantage program, then hospice would be paid for under your Medicare Advantage program. The benefits of hospice, if again someone has been determined to have a life expectancy of 6 months or less, can be very comforting because instead of the process happening to you and you having no control over what's happening, you're actually able to feel like you have a little control in that your loved one is at home or wherever the place is that they would call home, and you're able to be with them. You're able to go in and create lasting memories even during the latter parts of their life. I understand that talking about death is not something that most people like to do, but death is a part of life, and it's something that requires you to have those hard conversations. So while you're talking about wills and living wills and all those other legal documents, factor in a conversation on end-of-life care issues and how everyone feels about hospice. The more it's normalized as a part of the process and not something that shouldn't be touched, I think the easier the conversation will be. I hope this has helped you think about hospice and how it could be beneficial if and when that time comes. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, and if this information has been helpful to you, make sure to pass it along to your friends and loved ones. If you have questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section and I will read them and respond. Until next time, take care.